Welcome to another edition of the Scruffy Ginger Podcast. This is your host and your Scruffy Ginger, Matt Graves. Thank you so much for listening. This is episode 7, lucky number 7. Why is it lucky number 7? Guess who the Titans are playing this week in front of the fucking nation? That's right, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, we're going to talk about why the fuck I hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. I couldn't get anybody to want to come on the pod as far as, Skyping and giving their input on the game. Couldn't understand why until I realized that, I looked up our overall head-to-head record. And for the past 30 years, each decade, you guys haven't even come close to beating us. The head-to-head matchup has always been Titans, the last 3 decades. So, you're scared little bitches. That's why. Now, before we get into this week, just wanted to, I came across this. I never seen it until today. The famous Dr. Seuss actually wrote a poem about the Titans-Jags matchup. I had no idea. I don't think it's in any children's books, but I wanted to read it to you guys today, and it goes like this. I do not like the Jags. I do not like the Jags during the day. I do not like the Jags when their fans choose to say hey. I do not like the Jags at night. I do not like the Jags when they bark and gripe. I do not like when they beat the Titans. Oh, wait, I remember now. That never happens. The Jags can talk all they want, but they know they'll always be the stinky NFL cunt. Now, I was surprised when Dr. Seuss used that kind of language, but I'm not, I'm okay with it. I think it merits the intensity of this week and how, honestly, most of the teams in the NFL feel about the Jags. They're everyone's, redheaded stepchild. And I am the only one who's allowed to say that because I am one. So there you go. Now, this week, we got a lot going on. Jalen Ramsey is, he got a little upset on the sideline this past week. His coach is getting all in his face, and he doesn't like that. He wants to get traded now. Oh, but he's 100% committed to the Jags. So, yeah, I totally forgot that makes sense, and how that thought process can be understood by anyone. So, he's not fully committed. I expect him to not let Derrick Henry, roll all over him as he always does. But let's just say he's just going to choose not to get injured so that he can make some more money with his trade potential. So, also real quick, wanted to make a quick note. Your Scruffy Ginger got himself a pup the other week. So if you hear little footsteps clanking around, he's roaming around. If you hear him sniffing, that's his little thing. He just does it. He just sniffs under the doors and thinks there's something on the other side, and there's not, but he's a silly pup, but he is the best pup. His name is Bruno, and I'm sure there will be pictures of him being posted soon. So, back to the fucking Jags. This week, the promo video says it best. They're pretty good for a college team. That's what they are. I mean, on paper, you would think that as the amount of money that they're paying their defensive players and the amount of star power, quotes, star power that's on their defense, you would think that they could put a season together. And I don't know if it was the NFL gods making fun of them a couple seasons ago when they went to the AFC Championship, but gotta admit that was pretty funny. I mean, before that and after that, they've been a 5-win team. So, give them a one season to celebrate, for the rest of their NFL lifetime, and they can hang their hats on that. But, it's just not going to be anywhere close to that this year. They're already fucking 0-2. I mean, it's only going downhill from here. And tomorrow night, Thursday, Titans are coming to town. It's an away game in Jacksonville. And, all right, Bruno. He's playing with his toys. There's probably going to be a couple of breaks of me trying to get his attention, but hold on. He's getting into the equipment. Bruno, get away from that. Hey, get away from that. I know. You're trying to be involved, and that's good. I like the pup that likes to get involved. Okay, so we're going to the Jags. Last time we faced the Jags, Derrick Henry, I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but it's not too hard to rattle off the second longest or tied for second longest run in the entire NFL history, 99 yards. Derrick Henry has gone on the record this week saying he wants to move past that. He wants to move on. He wants to be remembered for this year's stats, who already has 2 touchdowns and close to 100 yards per game. So if that tells you anything, Derrick Henry is going to have a game tomorrow night. The last time we faced them, he went off for, I think it was either 5 touchdowns. I think he had 5 touchdowns, or it was at least 4 touchdowns. And the 5th one that he was going to have, or whatever was the additional one, whether it was 5th or 6th, it was we were on the goal line about to score, and he wanted to give Dion Lewis some time to shine. Selflessly walked off the field, shook his hand, gave him the reins, and can't remember if Dion Lewis scored on that drive, but we definitely did. So kudos to Derrick Henry for allowing some other players to be in the limelight. Derrick Henry is going to do his thing. I think Mariota is going to have a game as well, calling for 300-plus yards, probably 3 touchdowns. 1 to Derrick Henry. I'm calling this is A.J. Brown's first touchdown of his NFL career in the regular season. Can't really remember if he had one during the preseason, but either way, the only time that counts, the regular season. So, predicting he's going to have a big game as well. And, it's just going to be fun. They're going to roll over the Jags. My prediction is, I'm going to say, let's go with 35-17. I think they're going to get some garbage time points like they always do. And, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be a fun night. The last Jags-Titans game that I went to was New Year's Eve. I believe it was, 2 years ago. And it was in Nashville. And the Titans were playing. If they won, they go to the playoffs, the wild card spot. The Jags had everything locked up that year. They were the division winners. That sounds like the biggest oxymoron that has ever, exited my mouth. But needless to say, they were the division winners. They had everything locked up. The Titans had everything to prove that week. They were not facing anybody else. If we won that game, we were in the playoffs. The Jags could have rested everybody. They could have said, you know what? We've got the division locked up. We're going to rest our starters. The Titans can enter in the playoffs and, have some fun there. No. They played every single starter. Do you know why? Because the Titans were on a fucking roll at that point, and nobody wanted to play us. So they thought, as it seemed by their decisions on the field, playing their starters, they had to play their starters. They did not want to face us later and out in the playoffs. Derrick Henry was on fire. The entire offense and defense was on point. So, hey, Bruno, get down. Sorry about that. Man, having a dog here is quite distracting. We're going to have to maybe fix this next time. But we're already in the middle of this. We're not going to stop. They played all their starters, and we beat their fucking ass. I mean, there were many memorable moments from Mariota's block to manhandle one of their linebackers, I believe, or maybe it was a strong safety, to extend the play for Derrick Henry to get a first down to seal the deal, or if it was Mariota's stiff arm on Barry Church to get the first down and extend the drive. I was at that game. I was spoiled. I believe I already talked about these seats, but third row, 50-yard line, Titans side tickets. Oh, my God. I mean, there's not much of a more magical experience than that. I mean, I think it was 13 degrees out. It was New Year's Eve, so it started flirting at one point, I believe. We had all of these layers on. It was crazy. There with my buddies, Drew Worley, who might make an appearance if he wants to. He's more than welcome to come on. And then, of course, my buddy Jimmy, who we're going to the Panthers game with later this season, and whose tickets those were to begin with. So we had a great time, and beat their ass at home to go to the playoffs. Mid-game, me and Drew were thinking all the bars were already locked up. It was New Year's Eve. Not locked up, but they were sold out. They were taking reservations, and we couldn't get in anywhere. Guess who was playing at Bridgestone that night? That's right. The parrot head himself, Mr. Jimmy Buffett. I never seen Jimmy before. Hold on, I'm going to cough. Trying to get over this cough. But it's definitely going to happen during the pod, so just deal with it. When I saw Jimmy Buffett, it was awesome. The great way to just cap off the night, go and party with some parrot heads. Titans, Jags. We have swept them 3 straight seasons. And a lot of the times it's not even close. We always get, a Thursday night against them. And that is the night that we always beat them to the fucking ground, through the ground, bury them 6 feet deep. The other game, a 1 o'clock game or whatever it is sometimes a little bit closer. But for whatever reason, the Titans do very well against Jacksonville on Thursday Night Football. So not expecting anything but a win and an annihilation tomorrow night. We have come off a loss. I know everybody's fucking thinking about Lucas right now, thinking that he's just a genius, talking about whatever he fucking wanted to about the Colts, giving the Titans praise while he was on the pod. Here's the thing, though. We did lose to the Colts. I tell you what, though. Jacoby Brissett did not look too well. T.Y. Hilton, who I predicted would have a monster game, did have a touchdown, but held him like 50 yards or less. And Marlon Mack had, it was like 50 yards or less or something like that. So, or maybe just over 50 yards. It was that dumb fucker number 20 that just got through the line and ran for about 50 yards to set up a go-ahead touchdown that really sealed the deal for them, which is fine. That's how some games play out. It's really decided by one play. The Titans missed their kicker that we signed, since ours is on IR, missed a 47-yard field goal, I believe it was, but I think it was 47. You want to make them all, but that is one that, I guess if you're going to miss it, you want it to be a long field goal. I'll tell you what you can't miss, though, an extra point, which Adam Vinatieri managed to do again this week. The Colts have to seriously look at that man's contract and force him into retirement. They're not going to cut him. He's one of the greatest kickers of all time. He's not going to want to play for any other team. He's won Super Bowls with the Patriots. He's won a Super Bowl with the Colts. And he is one of the most clutch kickers in NFL history, if not the most clutch kicker in NFL history. So they're going to force him into retirement. It's going to be amazing. It's 2 household Colts names that are going back to the crib this season. Andrew Luck, Adam Vinatieri. If they keep Vinatieri and they keep playing him, I mean, Lucas said it himself. He's worried if he makes if he misses an extra point or a field goal. That should be a chip shot during week 2. He even texted me during the game. He was chirping, of course. I mean, he's probably wasted out of his mind like a drunken alcoholic. Redundant. I don't care. He texted me saying that he's off the Adam Vinatieri train, which, I mean, there wasn't really a train to begin with. I mean, the dude's fucking like 1,000 years old. So his time was coming anyways, and it has come in the 2019 season. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. The Titans love to see it. Anyway, this one's not going to be as long, I don't think. But wanted to get my thoughts out on the Titans-Jags matchup this Thursday. Bruno, who you could probably hear is sniffing away, and he's not even sniffing. He just blows air into a certain small area, and I have no idea what he's doing when he's trying or when he attempts. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I don't know what he's doing when he does that. And he's being a big distraction right now, but we're trying to get through this thing anyways. Titans-Jags. What did I say? 35-17? I'd say 13 of that comes in garbage time, meaning 7 minutes or less in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a dominant game. Tune in. You're not going to want to miss it. And we're going to finish off this pod the way we always do. Just remember, guys, and it is so relevant this week, and Bruno couldn't agree more. If you're not first, that's okay, because neither are the Jags. Peace.